welcome to another episode on EXXXOTICA.tv. Tonight we have a very special guest on a very special show. We are doing another episode of Spotlight, which of course is one of the places that we interview some of the biggest stars that we have that attend our Exotica Expos every year. This one is certainly one of our favorites, and super excited to have her. But before I bring her in, I guess I got to introduce us first, right, Dan? My name is Jay. I am a makeshift Exotica TV host, and this is my best buddy, Dan. He is another makeshift Exotica TV host, co-host.
Yes, just to think, last week I was flipping burgers, and now this.
Seriously, you're moving up in the world, man. I am. I'm excited for it.
Depends on how you look at it, if this is up or down, but
it's more of a lateral move, I would say. That's pretty much what our last 47 days have been.
48 for me.
48?
I got one more.
Okay. Well, you look a little older.
I do. I grew the beard.
Okay.
So I got from the Papa Smurf collection I got going on.
Nice.
I'm ready, dude.
Okay.
I'm ready for Christmas. I'm gonna get some extra work with Santa.
Ho, motherfucker. Let's do it.
I'm gonna eat my way and fucking grow my beard and shit. But nobody came here to look. Nobody came here to listen to us.
Not one person. Not a
one.
single.
Well, maybe one.
Hi, Mom.
Your mom usually.
Hi, Mom.
Your mom usually tunes in.
Yes, this is true.
We're gonna bring in this one, our guest for tonight's Spotlight edition. Look, I don't know what else to say to her. I mean, she's a freaking porno renaissance woman. I mean, businesswoman. I mean, she
coffee drinker,
performer,
weed smoker.
Coffee purveyor of fine coffees.
Ooh, sounds way more fancy.
And consumer of fine cannabis, and the reigning AVN MILF of the year, Alexis Fawx.
Yeah.
What's up, Alexis?
Hey, Alexis.
Hi. Good morning.
What's happening?
Well, good evening, actually.
Or good evening. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, what people, So the funny thing is like the first time I heard Alexis' name, I read the spelling and it's Fawx. So I'm like, and I'm talking to your publicist, and he's there, Fox. I'm like, wait, is it Fox or Fawx? Like, is she from Boston?
Park the car.
Park the car. Hi, I'm Alexis Fawx. But I mean,
she's actually distantly related to Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if you knew that.
Very distant.
Yeah. Very distant. Like way back to the Mayflower.
They are both Homo sapiens. That's the closest relation. But Alexis, thanks for joining us today. How you holding up in quarantine over there?
I'm holding up pretty good. I feel really blessed. I'm over here in Vegas, so we've been here for, in lockdown for a really long time. I think they just extended it to May 15th with a slow rollout or something. It's hard to keep up with everything on the news, but I feel really blessed. I have a home where I can go outside and I can get some sun on my face, and that feels amazing. It's weird. It's like from where I first was at lockdown to compare to like my mental and emotional status now, it's definitely it definitely went through like some waves of weirdness. Some days I feel super productive and I'm like putting together birdhouses, macrame, gardening, work shit. And then other days I'm like, I don't feel like fucking doing crap.
But that's the beauty of it. That's like,
and I think we have to honor that. Like, Don't shame people for being productive. Don't shame people for being lazy, just dealing with it. And I don't want to say lazy because
I think the word is comfortable. Comfortable. Be comfortable.
Comfortable, yes. and don't feel like doing anything. Honor it. However you feel, do it.
And speaking of words, I don't think I've heard the word macrame used in I don't know how many years.
Definitely an Exotica TV first.
You got to put that onto your onto your resume. The coffee and all this stuff, and you do macrame. Like your publicist even actually sent me over that you're an avid gardener. But he didn't say shit about.
I'm a huge gardener. But okay, so the macrame thing is new, and it's because it was kind of wintertime and it gets cold here, and so gardening isn't as time consuming. Like I go out to my garden like I don't know 1,000,000 times a day and do whatever. So I ended up collecting houseplants, and so now I have 20 houseplants. I'm creating my own garden indoors, and I found this really cool thing where I'm going to make these macrame plant hangers. never macrameed in my entire life. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I get my practice? And I still got to do work and da 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 da. So now I'm doing like topless arts and crafts on like my foxfans.com.
That's a future series for you.
And it's really kind of cool. I did one, and I made a little thing with the macrame, and I'm practicing the knots because, of course, these things are going to have to hold pots eventually. So I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. And someone bought the piece that I made. I mean, it's silly, but
that's multitasking right there. That's
like
way to get shit done.
I showed my boobies, like.
Well, that was one of the we were talking to Joanna Angel a few days ago, and she was saying how with quarantine she basically just like leaves sex toys all around different parts of the house so that it reminds her to like, oh, I'm chopping celery. Okay, well here's put this on OnlyFans, or is that pretty much like one of kind of your daily routine?
Yeah, I definitely get up, start with DMs, and then there's, the list of customs to do and how to organize that and Skype shows, and then you're creating your general content on top of that, and then it's work hasn't stopped for me at all.
Yeah, you're busier than most people.
I work every day.
So here's a question, and you should be honored that we're asking this because there's two very large reminders of why we haven't asked this yet. We've done 40 some odd of these shows at this point, and we've never asked. So now that you're in quarantine, you're alone, and for the most part, except for, and we'll get to that one, and the poop guy outside right now. But do you walk around the house topless? Like, why even put on a shirt? Because I mean, women are always complaining, right? How they want to let the boys or the girls out.
Look, man, it's my home. I do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have roommates for a reason, and I never had roommates for a reason, because if I want to sit on my couch butt ass naked with my asshole sitting on the cushion and my legs sprung up over here and I haven't showered in a day or two, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's my house. No, my body odor, my fucking couch. I worked hard to pay for all of this.
So is this because I was busting Jay before?
That was a totally different picture in my head than what Dan had painted. So
yeah, totally. I was busting Jay before. Like, he's walking around his little makeshift studio there, and I noticed he's not he's wearing shorts and he's not wearing shoes or socks, and I'm like, I still get up every morning, take my shower at 6:30.
Excuse me, I am showered. I have a presentable shirt dressed on. It's just that it's party on the bottom and business on top.
Well, let me remind you too, that policy, no pants policy, is my policy, whether I'm quarantined or not.
Good
so
for you.
I don't have roommates, so nothing's gonna really fucking change. If I want to garden naked, I'll go fucking garden naked. I mean,
helps
if
property
you're looking
value.
outside your window, well, if you don't like what you see, turn away. It's my yarn. So that hasn't changed at all. But the thing about it is too, it's a good, like, you bring up a great point of getting up and taking a shower. I think it's also for a healthy mental state, at least for me, and I can only speak from my own perspective, my own little journey here, is what really changes my day from what could possibly be a depressing day to a really active and kind of mentally fun day is getting up and having some type of good morning routine. I'm getting up, I'm making my bed, I'm mentally preparing myself, I'm washing my face, brushing my teeth, getting my coffee, putting my workout clothes on. Trying to establish some type of routine, I think, is really important for your mental status. I just really do. And your emotional.
For sure.
And your physical. If you're exercising all these things, you're only going to make yourself mentally stronger, emotionally stronger, and physically stronger. So just, and not saying that I don't have the days where I just mentally tap out.
Right.
Absolutely. I did that before quarantine. But I think what keeps me, because I had a couple of days where I'm just like, okay, I need to snap the fuck out of this. What is going on? Let me be self-aware. Let me change this up. And it starts with your morning routine. However you start your morning, regardless you're in quarantine or after quarantine or however you rule your life, a good morning routine will really set your day apart from a bad day.
Could you come to Philadelphia and convince my young children of this? Because this is the argument that I have every day.
Come to Philadelphia and join our company and help us run shit.
I'm a PA girl, right? I'm from.
Are you? No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I'm Jersey, so
we're not talking to you, Dan. Move out of this conversation. Hold on a second. I'm just going to take you right off the screen here. It's Alexis and I now. No, so where in PA?
A really super small town, 3 hours from Philly, 3 hours from Pitt. Small
So
town, Chambersburg.
Pennsylvania, like right in the middle? Okay.
Total Pennsylvania.
Oh,
absolutely.
man.
Like,
Let me tell you.
Amish with horse and buggy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. We make it a point to drive, or at least I make it a point to drive to some of the shows that we have yearly. And so, driving out to Chicago or, God forbid, the C word, Columbus, Ohio.
Miami.
We drove. Well, that I don't get to go through Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is like this place that is unlike any place. It's like the state of PA is like the United States, and you have your East Coast and West Coast that are like normal functioning, places, cities, whatever, and then you have the middle of Pennsylvania, which we call Pennsylvania, which is like the craziest place. What was it like growing up out there?
Well, I'm a tomboy, if you can imagine. I was a daddy's girl tomboy. So me, like, I grew up next to the Appalachian Trail, basically. So I was always in the mountains, hiking, fishing,
drinking Mountain
canoeing,
Dew,
shooting guns, you name it.
I just fell in love with you just a little bit more.
I had a 4-wheeler, you can imagine what I was doing.
That's
so
awesome.
I had a lot of fun.
So that must have been a shock, though, to go from that point to like you started down in Miami, right, and then you went out west.
Not really. Not sorry.
That's all right.
It's the poop dog.
It's the poop guy telling me that he's leaving now.
Which
we'll
get to the poop guy. That guy's coming up.
It really wasn't that much of a shock to me. I was like always like this little. Growing up, I remember being like 12 and younger and thinking, God, man, this place is like suffocating. It was just too small of a town.
Right.
Grant, we need small towns. We need people that love small towns.
I just don't need to live in one.
Right? But I just felt like this burning inside of like, I need to get the fuck out of here or else I'm going to die a miserable death. I'm not like, there's so much more out there for me to see and do. So I just couldn't wait. And then, so I started really young. I dabbled in a lot of weed. I dabbled in a lot of LSD, mushrooms, went to a couple of Grateful Dead concerts. So I was already expanding my mind in many other ways. And I read a lot of books. So
by the way, if Jay says, excuse me right now, he's going in the other room onto his phone on Pornhub. Because like you're just talking talking his world.
You just hit all my points. You just like literally.
If you tell him you're part Asian, you're fucking in.
Actually, you know what's really funny? I think I am.
Excuse me. I'll be right back. All right.
I'll get into my best friend, my brother, he's Thai, and I'm like, I always tell him, I'm like, I'm your twin sister, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and I'm like, no, you won't. You love me.
Oh man, you had me at LSD, but with the Grateful Dead, you just took it one more step.
So
yeah. So I've been to Grateful Dead shows and stuff. Like, who doesn't do that? Like RFK Stadium, actually,
really?
To be specific.
All right.
And in fact, I remember my favorite show was when Police opened up for them.
That's
or
wild.
Sting, whatever. It's the same people, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
What a wild opener for a Grateful Dead show.
Yeah,
I
really.
actually work some Dead shows, so I have seen the Dead live, Jay, with Jerry, by the way.
With Jerry. Absolutely, me too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no such thing as the Grateful Dead without Jay.
And I worked a couple of shows at a Giant Stadium, and the opener was, what the fuck is his name? Jesus Christ.
No, he was dead by then.
No, it wasn't Jesus. He was dead then. No, but he rose again.
That was last month, wasn't it?
Steve Miller Band.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I wanted to kill myself. Because it was Abracadabra. He started doing that shit.
Oh yeah.
One of the worst songs ever written. But anyway,
come on, man. Steve Miller Band.
Reach out and grab you. Come on.
Steve Miller Band is a good guilty pleasure, man. Come on.
It almost sounds a little rapey. Grab you. Abracadabra.
You also were in the Air Force, right?
Well, yeah, and so I knew at a young age that I wanted to get out of my small fucking town. So how do I do that? I come from, at that time, a middle class family. I was punk rock, Mohawk, LSD, fuck parents. Like I was just, I was a rebel without a cause. And but I never really got into any major trouble.
So the military gave her one. No.
Yeah, right. And so for me, joining the military and stuff like that, I went, I joined the Air Force, was a step for me to expand, what else is out there. What was the quickest way for me to do it? Join the military. It gives me college money, and it gives me a little opportunity to travel and do something different, right? And I just grabbed it. I mean, it wasn't like I outweighed options here and there. I was just like, yes. And I definitely didn't realize this until later on in my life, but I definitely have that I'm going to say yes mentality now. And I'm probably going to fail and do a couple little things in between, but what really are failures? They're just learning experiences.
Right.
And so same with the coffee. I said, you know what? I was smoking a joint in my hammock, having a really great cup of coffee by Currency Coffee. And I was like, I need my own coffee beans. Like, this is a Sunday. This is, a fun day Sunday for me.
Right.
In the morning. And so that's how that happened, is just by saying yes. I got into the porn industry by just saying yes. It wasn't like, oh, what will, people think later. I don't give a fuck what people think. But you know what I mean? It was just a yes mentality, and got me into the Air Force, got to travel around, but a little bit with that. Started going to college, graduated from University of Maryland, UMBC, and flipped a coin between Phoenix, Arizona, and Miami, Florida, and Miami won out. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to Miami, and we'll see how that fucking works out. Didn't have anything lined up, just went down to Miami, lived on South Beach. And
so when you got off the plane in Miami, did the bang bus pick you up?
No, that came actually several years later, actually. And I've always been a porn watcher, like whatever, free spirit. I like sex, like
right.
Whatever. It's who I've always been. And it's funny. People always ask me, how did I get into the industry? Well, it's coming up on 10 years, July actually. And I wasn't working at the time, and I just got sick of working that rat race. Some people love that whole 9 to 5 cubicle lifestyle. That's great.
Show me a person. I don't know who loves that shit. It just sounds so painful.
Some people need that structure in order to maintain some kind of life, right? They believe in that. They maintain it. And you know what? If they didn't do it, who else would?
Right.
So good for that. Thank you. But me, who I realized that I'm a creative person. I'm already a go-getter in many ways, and for me to be happy, I like to branch out and be creative. And so that I quit everything. I was miserable working as a paralegal, and that also shows like in my activities, like doing the happy hours and boozing and doing that, and it was just like a really unhealthy lifestyle. And I was like, fuck. I work all the time. I'm working, 80 hours a week for these fucking assholes that don't appreciate me.
Dan says the same exact thing.
So I hauled off and just fucking quit. And it was, rather it being like, oh my God, I don't have a job, I'm living in Miami kind of pressure. It was like, oh God, that was a relief.
Weight off your chest.
Yeah, it really was. And then it was like, okay, I never want to work for another person. I don't want to work for somebody else's fucking dreams ever again. If I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to work for my own fucking dreams and fuck everybody else. So that is the goal. Right. That has been my goal. And that's what motivates me every day. I get up, it's work, but I'm working for myself. I'm working for whatever I put into it is what I'm going to get out of it. Right. So I have no problem. And I know I put in countless hours, into all the different sites, from your OnlyFans to your Snap to, your public social media, to this, to that, to, the coffee business, to the comedy show, to now I'm getting into writing. I fucking love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. I can sit around and I can create like a million jobs for me to do every single day. And it's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Some things are going to pan out wonderful. Some things are going to be a learning experience. Just give it to me.
You said you've got into adult 10 years ago. How has your kind of routine changed over that time? I can only imagine that now that you're, established the way that you are, you have to have a little bit more freedom to be able to choose what you want to do and what direction you want to go, and the ability to say no and all that good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. But the ability to say no should be from the start.
Right.
Like if you're not comfortable with something, you say no.
Yep.
If it's a boundary you're uncomfortable with, say
Yep.
no. Like don't live in the gray,
Yep.
make it black or white. It's either yes, 100%, or No. If you're at 98%, fucking put it in the no category until you're 100%.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
So
Yeah, I mean, of course it's changed. You know,
you should head up the guild.
What?
You should head up the Performers Guild.
Just like this. This will be your business card. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's just you know, it's always a reflection of, you know.
You can tell she's East Coast because she does it like this. Other people do this, you know.
Yep.
West Coast are like, She's like, fuck you.
Dude, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, my routine. So routines, you know, basically, yeah, I mean, in the beginning, because you're establishing your brand, you're establishing your name, you got to put your fucking work in.
Right.
It's work, you know, so you go from like shooting 25 days a month to now I'm like, yeah, you know, I've established my brand, and I've also now have a lot more responsibilities, and I've also branched out of just shooting for companies.
Right.
So you need that additional time, and that additional time is actually also going to generate that mailbox money. It's generating other avenues of income. So it's all going to filter in some way or another. So
laying the groundwork, planting the seeds.
Lay your groundwork,
Right.
And then once you lay your groundwork, then you know, I don't really say it's like getting choosier or anything like that, because I'm not choosier. I'm just like, I know what's going to make me happy. I know what's going to bring out the best scenes. You know, I put out my best scenes when I'm not working 29 days a month.
Right.
You know, I'm going to put out my best scenes when I'm like, okay, I'm methodical about it. Work, day off, recoup my body. Because what we do is very physical. Right. It's mental, emotional, and physical. I don't care who you are, you still feel that in different ways. But physically, I want a little day in between to recoup. It's just like doing anal. I don't shoot the day before and I don't shoot the day after. Why?
Neither.
I want to eat like crazy the day before. Make sure I don't have a rough scene where I'm coming in tired into an anal scene, or bruised, or just uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I come in, I'm 100% prepared on the anal day. I've eaten all it. I can like withstand the time not eating. I love to eat.
We'll have you on our cooking show, Fork You.
You're going to be on all our shows, the cooking, the
Yeah, I love it. Just let me know. I'm totally down.
check out this.
We can make some cool recipes.
Hey, Jay, check out this segue. So speaking of anal, you mentioned before that the poop guy was at your house. Please explain. You like that? That was smooth, right?
Okay, so I have two dogs. I have my dog Jojo, which I've had for 9 years, and then I have my Loki, which I stole from my assistant. It's a whole long story.
So make sure you change all your passwords now, because it's Jojo Loki.
Jojo Loki 69.
No. They're not my passwords.
She's like, shit, I gotta go change my
You got a
password.
bunch of hackers out there that are writing down their dogs' names.
No.
Could you? What was the first car that you drove? No.
Right? I don't even remember.
Just taking a guess. Was
Okay.
your mother's maiden name Smith?
Getting back to the poop story.
The poop guy.
The poop guy.
Yeah. So and so I have this poop person come, and it's the funniest thing. I can't tell. I feel so bad. You remember Saturday Night Live when they had the Pat episode? And it was like that funny. It's like Pat. It was like, is it Patricia?
Hey, Patrick.
Guy or girl, I don't know. And I want to be respectful as fuck, and I can't, because I'm like, the name doesn't tell me, and I'm like, do I say dude or hey babe or what? You know, like, I don't want to be offensive.
So it goes trade show, burger flipper, TV producer, poop person.
Yes.
Lateral moves.
Yes.
And I bet that's when you know you made it, by the way, is when you have a poop person. I had to have children to get a poop person to pick after my fucking dog, you know? I mean, and that's like a fucking fight. I still got to bribe them to do it.
I need a poop person to pick up after my kids.
Comes right to my house, picks all the poop up. I mean, I maintain it, you know, especially now that I'm home. But, you know, when you're not home and you're flying back, you know, back and forth to LA, and that's the great thing about living in Vegas, dudes. I can hop on a Southwest flight, be in LA, do my scene, go back to Burbank, and boom, I'm home again. You know, same night, sleeping in the same bed makes a huge fucking difference. And that's another thing to schedule,
right,
is, you know, when you establish yourself and you establish, you know, if you treat this as a business, man, it is fucking great. You know, like, save your money, invest into yourself, invest into your business. This is you. This is your company, you know? So when you're doing that, like, I don't know. You can create whatever schedule you want, and having the ability to dictate your time, game changer.
What's going on? So you started the coffee company, High AF Coffee, which, at first I thought, okay, it's high as fuck or high Alexis Fawx Coffee.
And you were wrong on both.
I was wrong on both.
Yeah, so it's high altitude for coffee. It's also a way to get AF in there, like for my initials, Alexis Fawx or whatever, into more of a mainstream product, but with the realization that not everybody's like hip on the pouring game. But it's great coffee, and I have an AJ blend and a Sumatran, and I also have cold brew, and we're adding other flavors as well. I'm a huge coffee lover, and I travel a lot, so traveling around and trying different coffees in all these different countries and different cities has just really kind of made me excited. It made me want to, do my own brand.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Do you watch it?
I don't watch TV.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't watched
So you got to
television
go.
since 2006.
It was season 10 or whatever of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the new season, and there's an episode where he opens up a coffee shop, and he's got to find
A spite store
to next to another coffee shop to throw him out. But I don't want to spoil it, but he's on the perfect hunt for the perfect bean now to do it. And then they find it. And the whole fucking episode is like, when you're just talking about, like, how do you find the fucking perfect bean?
I'm picturing
So where
Alexis
did you get your
Fawx and
beans?
Larry David go running around.
I know you're a gardener. I don't think you're growing that shit in Vegas.
Yeah, how does it go from you laying in your hammock to thinking I need to start a coffee company to like actually holding up the finished product of coffee?
That's execution. That's what that means.
Okay.
That means you dream something, and it's either going to
Manifest
stay
it,
a dream, or you're going to execute it in some way, fashion, or form, and make it a reality. And I'm all about making my dreams into realities.
So
And
what was that
exactly where
process?
You dream. I want a coffee brand. Why the fuck not? Coffee, weed, kind of goes together. Love those cafes in Amsterdam. Long run, my own cafe.
Right.
I mean, this shit's got to get over with first, but whatever. So that's that avenue. That's also, looking out for my future, and thinking about like, what's the legacy after, what can I pass on, or what, the legacy, what do I want to leave? What do I want to have fun with? Right. So that's easy. That's just a dream executed into a reality.
I'm impressed with your forethought on this stuff. Like, I mean, there are very few people that we talk to that like are like, hey, I'm doing step 1 because my eye is on step 5. Like this is kind of like the process that you're working through. Yeah,
and it's all like, and again, I've never had a coffee business before, like whatever. So it's learning, it's marketing, it's a lot of stuff, and like anything you put yourself into, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. I mean, you don't grow by staying in the same place. Magic happens when you get out of your comfort zone. That's a saying for a reason, because it's true. And I think some of the best changes and the best challenges, or the harder ones, are also some of the best outcomes, because you get to really learn about yourself in that whole process.
Right on.
So Alexis, we were talking before, and you had mentioned, and we kind of like jumped over it a little bit, but you were in the Air Force for what, 3.5 years? I mean, and you said, did you get in trouble in the Air Force, or? No. What did you do in the Air Force? Like, what made you decide? I know why you went in, but like, what did you do when you were in the service? And thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you so much.
On many fronts.
Again, I'm sorry for the little lagging. So no, I didn't get any trouble in the Air Force. Actually, I really excelled in the Air Force. I actually won like Airman of the Year, Airman of the Quarter several times. This is gonna make you guys laugh. I was a load master.
Yes, you were.
I was. I still am to this day. Just a little different in description of jobs. But yeah, I was a load master. So everything that came into base, everything that left the base came through me. And I just did really well.
It came through her.
Yeah.
It came through the load master.
Yes,
I have those all day long.
The purveyor of loads.
Exactly. So yeah, so the reason why I got out a little early is my father passed away, and I got out. I was going to do from active duty to the guard or something like that. They call it bootstrap, but apparently they had, I don't know, I couldn't bootstrap for some reason. I think they had too many people in my AFSC or something, and so I just got out to take care of my family. And I was in college anyway, and I kind of got what I needed out of the Air Force.
Right, because really what you were looking to do was to get out of central.
How do I move myself from this horse and buggy small town to what else is out there? So
right. Where were you stationed?
I got lucky to get stationed at Grand Forks, North Dakota.
So
you an old sack base.
Right, I was going to say, so you went from nowhere, the middle of Pennsylvania, to nowhere South Dakota.
Yeah, North Dakota.
North Dakota.
South Dakota has more shit than North Dakota does. But but actually, they had University of North Dakota there, which is a great school, and I started going to college there, and then I transferred from there to Bolling Air Force Base, DC. And that's where I finished out my time in, and I got out a little early and took care of my family and finished up my college degree. And then I flipped a coin between Phoenix and Miami, and that brought me down to Miami. And,
so it's probably one of the questions that you get in every interview. But what was kind of the intro to the adult business?
The intro to the adult business. I mean, honestly, I've been a porn watcher. I'm a free spirit. I love sex. I love the rawness of sex. When people are just really just vulnerable and enjoying themselves, I think it's so sexy. So I guess I like to watch. And I wasn't working at the time, and I saw this ad on Craigslist to be an extra for Dancing Bear. And I was like, oh my God, I've seen that.
Oh, wait a second. Please tell me. Dancing Bear is the
head.
It's like a mask or whatever. It's like a sex party kind of thing.
How did I not ever hear this?
A bridal party or something of that. And I was like, oh my God, I've seen those, whatever, I'll go participate. I just thought I was going to go as an extra and be like, suck some dick. Right. And instead, they went through this laundry list of you show your tits, you make a little extra money. You kiss your girlfriend, you make a little extra money. And they were only going up to blowjob that day. And they got to blowjob. They said how much it was gonna, how much they were gonna pay me. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I didn't even think am I good? Am I not good? I was just like, well, I've been told I was good. Fuck yeah, I'll just collect a paycheck on that. And I wasn't nervous until the dick got in my face, and I was like, oh my God.
Until the bear came out.
Yeah, and I did. I was the main chick, so I got the bear, the bear head.
It was the
and
bear's
all
dick.
I could think of, it was there was a person before me, bless her heart, but she was taking a really long time, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be that person, because they're all like, girl, you need to suck better dick. We all got somewhere to go. And so the dick came in my face, and I was like, this is going to be the best dick sucking I ever did in my life. I want to do this. My heart was pumping, and I was just went for it and gobbled it up, And next thing you know, I was booked for my first boy-girl scene the very next day, which was very rare because this was out of the Bang Bros office. Right. And Bang Bros is known for their reality, reality type
genre.
Porn.
Yep.
So, for me to go from being bride to now I'm automatically in MILF soup, that usually you have to wait a few months and, now she's a MILF. She got married 6 months ago. Now she's sucking the pool guy's dick.
As long as it's not the poop guy.
Oh my God. And I remember in MILF soup was the first time I ever squirted in my entire life. I didn't know what, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, what's going on? What is that? Now we all,
Dan has that same problem.
If I drink too many pizza, I'll have that same problem too.
I squirt every time I have sex.
It's true.
So anyway, that's how that all came about.
That's how you got in. So and then you've been doing adult, like you said earlier, for 10 years now. So you've been, as you've gone up, you're winning more and more awards. Do you some girls are, just not into the whole MILF stigma. But you pretty much that's how you started out in adult, because and I know with our shows, like the MILFs are the ones who do they crush it. Like, whether you're Lisa Ann or Phoenix Marie now with it, or Brandy Love. I mean, these girls are coming to the show, Tanya Tate, and they're just like crushing it because you know what, with the maturity and the education,
the
and
understanding
the
of what it is, right?
of what it is, right? You're a hustler, so I mean,
I'm a hustler, baby.
When you're doing shows and appearances, I mean, what is that like? Because some girls right now, they just want to do their OnlyFans and that's it. I mean, the two have to coexist, right?
To each their own, whatever. I like everything coexisting because it keeps you relevant. Like if people can't find you, how are you going to grow your fan base? You know what I mean? So I think, you got to think in that perspective, but it's all whatever you want out of your career. Me personally, I love the variety. That's why I love doing Gonzo and I love doing the acting bit. I fucking love doing characters. Oh my God, it's so much fun.
What's your favorite character you've done so far?
Well, so I don't think I hate picking favorites because there's something I can pull out of everything. You know what I mean? So I did, for, let's say, Pure Taboo, I actually helped write and did the pitch and stuff and cast it for To Be Seen, Not Heard. And to do that character where I basically had, you're kind of mental and play this, I wasn't full of makeup. It was, I got myself to cry and got myself to get crazy and to kind of go on to these depths within you, I think is just, I don't know, those are my favorite types. To play a character that I've written like in Unbound for Digital Playground and also for the Voyeur Next Door for Browsers, to write something, to do, again, here's something again, you take something that you're imagining and you're dreaming and then I actually put it on paper and then I actually made it a reality. That's execution. So it's just, and to play those characters is kind of cool. It's like, oh my God, like, I don't know. Those are my favorite because
it's and it's got to be nice, the end product when you see it, to be like, you get to see kind of the fruition of all your hard work.
Yeah, you really do. And it's been really fun. Like I'm looking forward to doing more of that, nice. And again, with the whole quarantine thing and we kind of spoke this before starting, it's been a great lesson in production. We're doing everything like I got this someone awesomely, like honestly, all my fans bought me my equipment in some time or another over the last 10 years. I got a brand new mic that's been great for fans. Yeah, right. Wonderful, because they're also looking forward to the videos. They want the higher quality and stuff like that. So when they're participating and helping us, get these items, you're just making it faster for you to get a better quality product.
What is the most interesting thing on your wish list?
I'm kind of realistic with my wish list. Like, I put things on there that I genuinely really want. Like, if you want to buy me a dildo, go fucking pick it out and send it to me. It's cool. I'm not a big toy person. So, like, for me to pick something out that I might use once.
I'm a gardener. I grow my own zucchini. I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much. I already fucked a cucumber out there before, like, whatever.
Just before.
Would you like some salad? Coming for dinner.
I've always said
I would.
We should do our own show, or we should do a show based solely around these wish lists because some of them are the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm also not a person, like, I had all these, okay, first of all, like, I'm also frugal. Like, I'd rather spend my money on, like, travel experiences. I invest in myself. Like, to me, that's more important because, I'm a tomboy. Getting me a pair of red bottoms. Yeah, they look cute for, the 30 seconds I have on my feet. And then as soon as I stand up, I want to throw them out the fucking window. That's not going to do me any good. Buy me a good book. A good book, I'm going to keep that around forever. And I'm going to remember that you got that for me. So I love to read. So there's book ideas.
I'll buy you the entire Encyclopedia fucking Britannica.
You know what I really fucking want, though? I want the Bob Ross video collection.
Do you find it relaxing to be able to
Dude, she's a stoner. Of course she does.
I grew up on Bob Ross and making happy clouds and trees and shit. I love that man. Like,
I will paint some happy fucking clouds anytime.
Oh man, yes. So I'm just putting that out there.
He's got, and you guys are similar. He came from a military background.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, he was relaxing, and as a child, and he's still relaxing today. Like, why not? So I don't know. I keep kind of realistic. I put gardening stuff on there, put house things on there, things I'm actually going to use. I mean, if you're going to buy me something, as a joke, because I don't watch TV, I put a television on there, and actually someone bought it and was like, okay.
And it still hasn't. Is it still in the box?
No, I have it up. What I do is I just have internet. So I just play music most of the day. I like really kind of calming music, and it just kind of fills some dead air space sometimes. I'm kind of a weird person. Like, I either have music on and it's really like just gentle music, or it's completely bone silent.
Who are you listening to these days? What's your go-to music?
Thievery Corporation.
Okay.
I've loved them for years. I mean, probably for the last 10 years too. Who knows how long I've loved them, but yeah, Thievery Corporation is one of my favorites.
Nice.
I went and saw them in concert. If you get a chance to go see them, I highly suggest taking a little bit of an edible and some mushrooms, and it is a fucking bomb show.
You got me.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Jay
Where do
did
I
that
sign
when
up?
Jay did that when he went to a Fish concert in the Midwest somewhere. We're not going to say, and he decided to try and bring said mushrooms and LSD and whatever else in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened?
What happened?
Did he get caught with it?
Can I tell the story sort of, Jay? I'll leave the innocent. I'll protect the innocent.
Yeah.
So Jay goes to somewhere in the Midwest where we know people. They hook him up with, a very high up figures box at the arena for said Fish concert. So Jay thinks he's just going to be brought through this private fucking entrance and escorted right up to this VIP fucking box. With his, and he's playing big shot because he's got his fucking cousin and his buddy with him. So he's like, look at the juice I got here. I'm going to load
First
up
of all,
my
I did not say look at the juice. I just thought that I was going to a door that somebody was going to let me in and we were going to be fine.
All right. But he loads up his said cargo shorts probably with tons of mushrooms and weed and God knows what other drugs, and gets to the door and like, oh fuck, there's security here and they're screening everybody. Which at that point it's too late for him to turn around. Yeah. Said security person finds said contraband in his said cargo shorts and basically confiscates it all and his tickets and says, "See you later."
Oh, that sucks.
They let me go.
At least they let you go. You didn't get arrested.
So we went out in the parking lot. We bought 3 more tickets and we went into a great show.
There you go.
But the person that hooked him up with all this heard about it the next day from the officer who took it. And he's like, dude, what the fuck were you? It's like when you get that PBA card and you get pulled over and the cop comes to you back and says, damn, why the fuck were you doing 118 miles an hour?
Yeah. You're not allowed to, yeah.
Anyway, that was my little diatribe.
Great story, Dan. Great story.
Thank you. It was a great story.
You probably should contact me beforehand, and I can definitely tell you how to get that in.
Yeah, see, the whole point is like I could totally get it in, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to a specific door to meet a specific person. Like I was walking in even without tickets, and so like I just kind of assumed that I was like gonna roll into a said door that one person was going to be standing there being like, hey Jay, come on in, and instead I was greeted by like a security line and a pat down, and it
this show is Spotlight on Alexis Fawx, not Spotlight on Stu.
Dude, I'm not trying to tell my dumbass stories. You're the one that brought this up.
I did bring it up because it was funny as fucking hell, but so I mean, what is your favorite, like if you could see any band again? Let's talk a little bit of music now, because we're both music guys.
Dan loves barbershop quartets.
I love music.
I do love barbershop quartets. They're awesome. Who's your favorite band of all time?
She just said,
she got cut out.
Favorite band of all time? I don't I can't. It's hard for me to pick favorites. Like I just don't have one favorite. But like right now, I'm really into Thievery Corporation. I love Hippie Sabotage. I like that. I would say if I'm into anything, my favorite genre would encapsulate that, like that type of music, very trippy, hippie, acid jazzy, just really smooth. I mean,
we gotta hang out.
Like I'm not into like I am very sensitive to energy, and I'm very sensitive to like just this that's why I don't like big cities. And another way is just like I can feel all the vibration, and I'm just like, let me get out of here. And so I just really like mellow shit. I don't need a lot of words, or if the words, I want them to be beautiful. Like, I think, like, we have to realize our skin is our largest organ. And so everything, including not just the lotions that we put on, but everything is a vibration. So if you're getting nothing but vibrating yourself with negative energy, what do you think that's doing to your body? So I just would prefer just to stay mellow and stay positive and do things that allow my mind to wander and be creative. And I find like Thievery Corporation, because of their tones, allows that to do it. And if I just really listen to SoundCloud, so I put Thievery Corporation or a song I like. What I like about SoundCloud is it's going to incorporate all those different artists that you're never going to find on the radio, but they're fucking phenomenal, or phenomenal remixes that allow my mind to do that. And I think that's where I also get a lot of my creative energy. I mean, if you're a weed smoker, you're sitting down, you're smoking a fucking joint or taking a dab or whatever edible, and you're going to throw on some tunes, get all situated, light a fucking candle, and you're going to allow your mind to wander. That's why I microdose mushrooms on a regular basis, for the same type of reason, just to kind of let shit
build
flow
up an
out.
immunity.
No, dude. There's a whole thought to microdosing that, like, it unlocks just that, like, extra percent of you.
This whole interview just went.
No, I mean, it's like,
actually more like.
No, it's actually an ever-growing kind of thought or process that people have been doing, and along with psychedelics, with like all kinds of like mental I feel like it helps your mental health every once in a while. It gives you a little bit of a reset that you need.
What's your
I spent a lot of time in Peru, hanging out with some indigenous and some shamans, drinking ayahuasca for a couple years. I mean, I wasn't down there for a couple years consecutive. I would just go down a lot. And also I had some...
Dan, I'm going to kick you out of this interview. You have no place here. I'm just going to take it over.
I don't know. I guess having that background, it was different.
Dude, I was going to Washington Square Park in New York getting fucking Doonesbury stamps when you were still in diapers, son. Nah, but I mean, what's your strangest trip that you've had?
Strangest trip? I would have to definitely be on an ayahuasca journey of some sort. Like, the last time I was down in Peru, I was down really deep into the Amazon, and I was down there for 10 days on a silent meditation. The only person I spoke to was basically the shaman that would come and check up on us once in a while, because we all stayed in individual places. And on a special diet. That means I didn't talk to anybody for 10 days, drinking ayahuasca basically every day except for maybe one or two. And then the last day you drink it at night, and then you wake up in the morning and drink it in the morning to really kind of drive it home. And that Sunday, going into that journey, I mean, you become so sensitive, you don't really need to keep drinking a whole lot, and it'll just take you right into this subconsciousness. And oh my God, it was so visual, so feeling. It was, it's hard to put something like that into words, to articulate it in a way that people are going to really understand it. It's the same thing when you feel, I think I felt like true nirvana. When you feel that true nirvana, that true bliss, it's like you're feeling pleasure and pain so extremely at one time. It actually doesn't, it takes your breath away, and you're like, you just realize, I don't know, I'm probably going to sound a little crazy, but I'm still trying to figure out ways to articulate it, to be honest. I think
you only sound crazy to people that haven't done it.
Or that are close-minded.
Hands down, you're definitely one of the most unique spiritual, girls that we've spoken to. Or
she's got her shit together, man. That's what impresses me.
It's actually, and you actually know words with more than like 2 syllables, which is pretty amazing too. So
she has Dan and I both beat.
Yeah.
It's because I still read books.
Those are those things with the pieces of paper in them, right?
So if you had to,
like,
just real quick, like in like 2 or 3 sentences, like if you had to give advice to a girl coming into the business now, what would it be?
Wow, say 2 or 3 sentences.
You can't tell them too much. Don't tell them all the secrets.
Well, I think, like, honestly, I think we need to be telling, I think we need to, like I said, be treated as a business. So set, business-wise, know what are your boundaries? What are you clear on? Like I said earlier, stay out of the gray, keep it black and white. You aren't going to get yourself in trouble that way, and you're also not going to regret something that you did and that you weren't ready for. Just be clear about your shit. Treat it as a business. Do you really need that new purse, or do you need to set yourself up with a basic shoot kit? You know, your toiletries, your basic shoe clothes. Are you young and you're going to be shooting like, you know, you're 18 and your cute little outfits or whatever, or are you sliding more into the MILF category where you get into the garters? Like, do you have some basic shit down? Are you prepared for your scenes? Do you have any questions? Like, ask as many questions that you want. Look for mentors, people that have been around for a while. You know what I mean?
They should do like a porn version of The Voice.
When you like turn your chair around.
Blake Shelton, and the guy Blake Shelton's just like there, like pointing, like, I want to be your coach.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, like,
Alexis
don't
Fawx.
waste people's time. If you know, and you know, just, you know, my advice is just you really understand, be solid and firm, and be grounded into yourself, and ask questions and know your boundaries, and if you want longevity in this as a career, then you treat it as a business. Set it up.
I really liked what you said before, which was if you're 98% sure you want to do something, say no until you're 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jay, isolate that clip and
Seriously.
fucking that thing's going out there, man. Seriously.
I'm starting my porn career with that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, why? Or like, if you're not like, and I don't like just. I mean, yeah. If it's not 100%, don't fucking do it.
Yeah. That's the recurring theme. I mean, we've, you know, and a lot of the folks that we've talked to, and a similar style question comes up, like, is, you know, learning the power of no, you know, to be able to like say no and feel comfortable in your convictions, you know.
And this is another thing too. If something happens on set or happens in your life in fucking general, you tell me what fucking chick doesn't have a phone in their hand. Excuse yourself with your phone in your hand. Go to the bathroom, lock your fucking self in there if you feel scared, and call somebody. Whether that's the police, your agent, your best friend, me, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's funny. It's like when you know, I've been asked before, something happened, and I got a call by another production company. This was a little while ago. Hey, you know, you worked with so and so today. And I'm like, well, first of all, you got to understand, I'm in the MILF category. Not too many people, like, you're not going to intimidate me. So nothing funny is going to go down, because you're going to know.
If something went down, you would have known about it.
This shit's not going to happen.
Right.
Like.
I was in the Air Force, motherfucker. I grew up in Pennsylvania, Kentucky. You want to fucking dance? Let's fucking
NO
dance.
is a complete sentence, and if you don't understand that, you need to grow the fuck up and stop being a boy and become a man. Simple as that.
Fuck yeah.
Now I will put you in your fucking place.
Alexis.
So like that shit doesn't happen. But I also, you know, I think like that's how I carry my, you know, like, I'm very kind and pleasant. Don't get me wrong, like by any means, but. You know, how you carry yourself is really important.
Handle your shit, man. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So, look, I mean, we appreciate you taking time out of your day from gardening and getting high and, you know, hanging out with the poop guy or girl, the poop person.
Yeah.
The poop guy or person. I just want to be correct.
Maybe they're non-binary.
Pat the poop person.
Yeah. Like whatever. I don't care. I just want to address you the right way.
Remind everybody where they can find you online.
Absolutely. You can find me on Instagram at Alexis Fawx Live, Twitter at Alexis Fawx. My OnlyFans is foxfans.com. You can also support me in my coffee, which, by the way, I'm donating 100% of the profits or proceeds from the coffee. So if you buy a bag, it's going to the Frontline Responders Fund. We're going to do that at least until the end of June.
That's awesome.
You know, it's just kind of tossing it up because whatever state we're in.
Yeah.
So
and that's at highafcoffee.com, right?
Yep. highafcoffee.com. So there we go.
Cool. Well, I mean, Jay, I don't know about you. I learned a lot.
I became a bigger Alexis Fawx fan for sure.
Ditto. So again, we appreciate you and all you're doing. Thank you again for your service. Thank you for your continued service to horny gentlemen everywhere. Yeah, we'll be checking you out. Go do some ASMR. We got to talk about that another time.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Oh man, she got us beat.
It's a real pleasure.
That is awesome. So, but thank you. You're going to be on. Let's see. You're going to be on Exotica TV, Wake and Bake. You're going to be on 4Q. You're going to be on every fucking thing on this shit, and we're going to have. And hopefully you'll be in all of our cities this year too when the shows must go on. So thank you again for Alexis and my BFF Jay. This is Dan saying, stay safe, stay sexy. Peace out. You got to do the. She's even got the thumbs
I
up.
know
Jay.
she's studied, man. All right, see you guys.
Yeah.